Doubles and Coffee. After this Doubles and Coffee video, if any citizen in Trinidad and Tobago reads the Guardian newspaper other than people who born and went by Balize House to extricate the conscience and the shame, then something wrong with all you. Anybody who takes Guardian Media Limited and Guardian newspaper seriously after what I am going to read and analyze for you, something is dramatically wrong with you and you need to go back in your mommy womb and come out again. Guardian Media, any business who advertise with Guardian Media, all you have to really check yourself. Listen to this editorial by the Guardian newspaper. I'm going to read it and interpret it for y'all. This is amazing, y'all. It's a feat of such PNM propaganda that immerses the mind in a quagmire of feces, accompanied with Kobo. That is what the Guardian is right. Let me help all you. No political gamesmanship with Port of Spain General Hospital, says Guardian Media Limited. This, after this newspaper was alive, well, and functioning, when Keith Rowley spent $775,000 to put up tent and all kind of thing, to cut a ribbon, to open a hospital, which was not complete. They finished one floor, let the media go on an elevator to that one floor, take some pictures and say, hey, hospital open. David Nackett, former Senator David Nackett, went in there. Senator now also and Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Sport, went in the hospital at great risk to his own safety and security and showed that the hospital didn't even have gypsum. All the floors, out of 13 floors, 11 or 12 of them had nothing on it. No plumbing, no water, no machine, no bed, no paint, nothing. No lighting fixture, no chandelier. But Rowley, Mama Guy, the whole population, and the Guardian was there to witness it and said nothing. Now let's read what this Guardian newspaper that's losing $15 million a year, but Ansa McCall would eat that because they find it more important to lie to the population to attempt to bring back the corrupt, nasty, disgusting thief in PNM so that Ansa McCall could make more profits in other areas of the economy. But let me read this. No political gamesmanship with Port of Spain General Hospital, says Guardian newspaper. It's fair at this point for the Works and Infrastructure Minister, Jerlene John, to say she's uncertain about the date of opening of the central block of Port of Spain General Hospital. She has done so on the basis of her assertion that the building is not yet ready for occupation by patients and a new $1 billion plus facility. On her assertion, Guardian, not on the fact that you can't put patients on concrete with no toilet seat, with no medicine, with no equipment, with no MRI, with no CAT scan, with nothing. Not on the facts that the hospital is just a concrete block that PNM mama guide the population with. It's only on her assertion, Guardian. The new hospital, says the Guardian newspaper, the Guardian of Rowley and PNM K-Pax, the Guardian of Penny. A penny for your thoughts, Penny. The new hospital block lends itself to pride in a national institution situated in the capital city. Moreover, it is one which will bring modern and expanded treatment facilities for patients with serious ailments. However, says the Guardian, given the history of what can only be deemed petty reactions by two major parties which have occupied the government since independence, on occasion deliberately seeking to ignore, neglect, and even sabotage the creation of other governments, the nation must now tolerate political games after the expenditure of hundreds of millions of taxpayer dollars on a major project in a critical sector. First of all, no political games have been played or are being played. They are pure facts that Rowley and the PNM took 10 years and did not build a central block. The Mamagai people cut a ribbon, took a picture, and took the media on a fake tour when the building was only 13% complete. Those are the facts. Now, for the Guardian to start to use their crystal ball, like Yasina Gonzalez, they say they now see that it is possible that the UNC government will play the track record of the UNC. is not to play games with facilities or with taxpayers' money. That's the sole remit of the PNM. The PNM left the Coover Children's Hospital, which was complete, replete with the best, highest order technology, the best scans, the best equipment for babies and for mothers and for maternity ward. And the PNM left it closed for 10 years. They only opened it for COVID when people were dying left, right, and center at home. The equipment is gone. It's been stolen. The hospital was never outfitted and finished with staff and nurses and doctors for patients and children. 28 babies died in a NICU because the PNM played games with sanitization of a NICU, and little infants died. And you didn't write an editorial, Guardian, you sick, devilish, nasty, disgusting, fake propaganda machine of the PNM. Now you are talking about games, political games that has not existed. The PNM also left about 40 schools that were at various levels of completion, some as high as 92% complete under Tim Gopi Singh and Kamla Prasad Bisesa on September 7, 2015. They left them to rot, for Bush and Cayman to live and roam the classrooms, and for the schools to be vandalized, the roofs stolen. Go on the bus route and see Mount Hope Secondary. My boy Stephen Reese did video after video, Starks did video after video of schools just left there by the PNM when children didn't have an opportunity to go to school. The UE South campus left by the PNM to rot for 10 years. You didn't write anything about leaving assets and the beauty and the brilliance of the state taxpayers' money spent and so on. Guardian, you disgusting, dishonest piece of toilet paper. They continue. Minister John must show her awareness that the new block was constructed with resources of the people of Trinidad and Tobago to facilitate the needs of the population. Minister John must do that. Why the PNM did not do that? Why you didn't call upon the PNM to open the Coover Children's Hospital and open all those schools that were finished and were ready for children, and the UE campus for South children, so they didn't have to go quite up in the traffic and live on campus up in the east-west corridor? The Guardian continued. For the moment, however, the TNT Guardian is not ascribing any of the above pettiness and political upmanship to Minister John. So what you write this for? You're a newspaper. So you are not ascribing any of what you wrote previously. Your entire editorial is based on your feeling or your hope or your prediction or predilection, and you write that as a serious newspaper claiming to adhere to the principles of journalism. Let me read that again for you, in case all you look at here and I'll print it out for you. For the moment, however, the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian is not ascribing any of the above pettiness and political upmanship to Minister John. But they write a whole editorial trying to create the hypothesis that somehow Kamla Prasad Bisesa, Minister John, and the UNC will be as wicked, as nasty, as dastardly, as devious, as corrupt as the PNM, and leave People Hospital unfinished. That's not the modus operandi of Kamla Prasad Bisesa, nor Minister John, nor the UNC. That belongs to the PNM. They let Balize House go from -4 million up to 150 million, and the Guardian stayed quiet as 40 schools remain unfinished and vandalized, as the Coover Children's Hospital remain unfinished, as the UE South campus. They also did the same thing in Tobago. Guardian, are you going to write us and tell us, let the planes land on a place where it's not complete, it's not open, it's not finished? But Rowley cut ribbon. He had a ceremony. Where was your editorial on political gamesmanship, mamagism, and lies? Where was your editorial saying, Keith Rowley, you're a disgrace to lie to the people like that? The airport terminal is not complete. Why do you have an opening of an incomplete hospital, an incomplete airport? Well, they didn't write none of that. All of a sudden, you started to predict the future and then come and say, but Jolene John didn't do nothing. But in case she do something, we go attack she. Well done, Guardian. To anybody who is a serious citizen, if you all continue to buy read this or spend money on advertisements in this Guardian, something is wrong with you all. Guardian continued, you know. It gets worse, if you can imagine that. This Doubles and Coffee, really serious. What this editorial is doing, let's find out now. They're going to tell us the nonsense that they're doing and the fabrication and the lies that they try to perpetrate to uphold PNM propaganda and to remain on the side of the PNM. The Guardian is the guardian of PNM. What this editorial is doing is making Minister John, the Prime Minister and the government aware that at least this media house, meaning the Guardian, fully aware of the political games that the two major parties have in the past played with the national resources of Trinidad and Tobago, is monitoring her closely and will sound a warning if it becomes apparent that such an underhand game is being played out with the central block of Port of Spain. Now, if you all don't find that is the most asinine, illogical, stupid, disgusting, nasty, corrupt statement ever written and printed, and imagine somebody wrote that. They read it, they vetted it, they put it down to size to fit in the paper, in that editorial column, printed it, double-check it, and then disseminated it. That is the Guardian. Guardian continues. The facility was built to provide for the entire population. So the Children Cova Hospital was to provide for what? The UE South Campus was to provide for what and for whom? All of those schools across Trinidad and Tobago that were left for 10 years by the PNM to rot and to be plundered and pillaged, they were built for whom? By whom? For what? Where are your words? Where were your editorials? Guardian, you're a disgusting PNM. You're as bad and you're as pathological as Rowley and Smallpin. The facility was built to provide for the entire population, and we shall be watching you, Minister John, for the efficient delivery of same on the basis of what you have claimed to be your track record. Efficient delivery? The central block that is incomplete, that only 13%, one floor or two floors out of 13 were completed by the PNM, was over budget by over 600 million. It's delayed by over 6 years. And now you come to watch Minister John, who now reached 4.5 months? Y'all have to be mad. We don't care about you, Guardian, you disgusting, pathetic PNM propaganda. You really feel I care about you watching? But that and nothing is the same thing. You claim your track record in the administration, government, and state programs, one of honesty and genuine concern for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. You are fast and out of place, you nasty Guardian. What Minister John should do now then is to give the nation a technical update on the works and projected finish date. What Guardian you should do is give the nation a technical update on when you will shut down, when you will close down, because nobody cares, nobody listens. And after this Doubles and Coffee, the few people who would bother to read and take the Guardian seriously now realize that you have fallen far off the perch of journalism. You are immoral, unethical, illogical, and sickening. You've now gone into the realm of fantasy. You all should go to Hollywood and make a movie, maybe Avatar, something like that, a fabricated story of entertainment and adventure. You are attacking a minister and calling on her to do something that she has not done and has shown nothing to do in that form or fashion. In any form of fashion has she given any evidence that she will ever do anything untoward. She has shown in her track record of performance that she is for the people, by the people, and would work efficiently to get value of money for the people in all projects. The PNM, on the other hand, is the most corrupt organization known to man. I was listening to a discussion on radio today that people were saying there are some countries where the governments don't tax their citizens, especially those oil-rich countries like Bahrain and Qatar and so on. Well, Trinidad and Tobago should be like that too. The one problem is that we have the blight of the PNM from Dr. Williams to Dr. Rowley to Smallpin that has plagued our country since 1956. The blight of the PNM is now gone, and so are you, Guardian Media Limited. People, fireburn them. Bless.